Good. All right, good evening, everybody. I would like to call the special meeting for our October 2025 Plan Commission meeting to order at 6:38. Again, appreciate everyone being patient. We had to deal with a couple technical difficulties, but it looks like we're ready to go. So with that, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Andy, if you will please walk us through roll call, please.
Tracy Bills.
Here.
Chris McCray.
Here.
Nathan Stradavant.
Here.
Robert Holland.
Here.
And we have Joe Murphy online.
Here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Moving right along, if everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moving right along. We're moving to approve the meeting agenda. Adam, any changes or modifications needed? Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented.
Make a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented.
Second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, meeting agenda approved. Thank you, Joe. We got it recorded. We're gonna get a little lag here tonight. That's okay. All right. Moving to item number 4, commission to consider approving minutes of the August 2025 meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review? I did note that the revision was made that was noted at the last meeting. Is there anything else needed at this time? If not, I would look for a motion to approve the August 26, 2025 meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the August 26, 2025 meeting minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? All right, approved. Excellent, thank you very much. Moving to our public hearing and the reason we're here tonight. Continuance from the September 30th meeting, case number Architecture 01-2025, 115 North Main Street. We are here to review the updated renderings and exterior plating of the library extension at 115 North Main Street. So Adam, with that, I will hand it to you. I don't know if do we have a town presentation? I don't know if we need to walk through anything or how we want to handle it tonight.
No, I've got the presentation from last time available in case we need to refer to it.
Okay.
I will defer to the petitioner in terms of any updates on the project.
Excellent. In that case, if you would say and spell your name and how you represent the case, that would be fantastic.
Okay. My name is Julie Bandy, and this is my life and business partner, Vasilis Macrae, and we are the owners of the Carnegie on Main, 115 North Main Street anyway. Is there anything else you need to know?
No, that's great. I would say give us an update.
So the update is reiterating what I was trying to explain last time, which is we are trying to bring a complete Carnegie experience to Fortville. Cultural arts, exhibits, performances, events. First, before I move on, thank you guys for all coming on this special meeting. We really appreciate your time. And I did want to say that we were introduced to a gentleman named Stephen Allen, who is an architect who specializes in historical buildings. And I had the opportunity to talk with Adam on 2 occasions. The second one was during a formal meeting on last Thursday morning, and the hour meeting was cut short by 30 minutes. And it was primarily that I was trying to explain what is happening inside this building and the importance of what this exterior has to look like so that you understand what you're about to enter. We're not entering into a library. We're entering into a luxurious, incredible space where we put on high-end events, where we have extraordinary exhibits. This is not a library. So once he saw what I asked him to look at some pictures of renderings that we are envisioning. He said, hey, let's talk tomorrow. And a few hours later, I got a rescinding of his contract via email. And basically, the bottom line is he would not be able to work with me and have our vision because wouldn't be able to, neither side would bend, not Indiana Landmarks and not us. He did not feel that he could help us, either party. We couldn't blend what he wants the building to remain and what we want the building to be. So he walked away from that, and it was, we appreciated his time, and he's an extraordinarily talented person. But what I was trying to convey last time, as I am this time as well, many former libraries have been adapted for new purposes with their original architecture modified to accommodate a new function. This can lead to a blend of historic and modern styles. This particular building is a craftsman style. It is arts and crafts, and what we're doing inside of this building is not. So I want to just go through. If you will go, thank you. If you'll go to the third slide, right there, we are wanting to enhance the current building. We want to make small enhancements. They're not big, but we have to have something on the current building that matches the new building. These are the doors that are going to open into our event center. The front of this building is the invitation to come in to have a Carnegie experience. We'll go to the next slide, please. This is the current building. This is a very austere building that has a lot of hope, but every time that I've tried to change it to look like it does now, it looks like it's a completely separate building than what we're proposing to add on. Now, in the very next, okay, so we do want to add the dental work. The keystones, I am not going to throw in the keys for the keystones. The keystones are a very small decorative piece above the windows. And I was going to put the same keystones, they're only this big, all around the building on every window, which is why it was an element that we're trying to bring the old building to match the new one. Having a flared staircase this is what is representing you to come in. This represents our event center. Having a new door, the decorative balusters, the coins were a perfect way to put match the old building with the new. I am in love with parapets, and if you look at the Carnegie institutions and libraries around the world, so many of them have it. If we can go to the next one, don't be shocked. Okay, so this person that I'm working with misunderstood. So he put block on the bottom. We're not trying to put block on the bottom. The parapet, I think, is magnificent, but I don't think it's going to fly. The new door, I did change the old door to, this is a wrought iron and glass door, which you can't see here, but I can show you a picture. That's a little bit better to understand. The dental work, something in this has to have something to tie the other building together. If we can go to the next slide. I just read that. We can go to the next one. This is the interior rendering of what we are envisioning for our new space. This is exactly the library as it is right now. As the two windows, we're putting a fireplace in between. We're taking a 16-foot opening between the space that you're walking into and the new space. You can see the decorative crown molding and ceilings. If you want to go to the next one, this is on the right side. And this particular piece is on the left side. That is a bar. And you can go to the next one. That is the interior. That is what the event center looks like. We can go to the next one. Well, what we want it to look like. Yes. As you can see, this is a very high-end, luxurious space. And we can go to the next one, please. This is what you will see as you walk in. That is the entry that we will be blowing out the back wall, and that will be the new space in between. Beyond that, so it goes back 55 feet, wide 60 feet. We are lowering the ceiling by exactly 2 feet to create this piece in the middle for the chandeliers. Okay, next. Okay, so this one is in New Albany. I love the coins. And it does not have a parapet. Yes, it does have a parapet at the very top. So what we had done for the last 2 years is to travel the world, looking at different Carnegie institutions and trying to bring back elements out of every institution that we saw. Not only Carnegie institutions, but high-end libraries and event spaces. So we've gone to Portugal, Scotland, Pittsburgh. We've seen, go ahead and go to the next one. And so since we couldn't come to terms with the new building, Vasily and I decided to just look at different, if you'll stay on this one for a minute, Carnegie libraries throughout Indiana and close to us, and go to the next one, pretty please. This next one, you can see the black glass door, and they have made a lot of changes to this one. This is at the Georgia Institute of Technology. And if you'll go to the next one, this is one that is in Carmel. It is now called Woody's Library Restaurant. And you can see the addition on the next slide. Definitely not what we're going for. We cannot do anything like that. And I don't, in our opinion, it doesn't look very good. But you can see some additional dental work that they've added here for beautiful characteristics. And we'll keep going. Okay, so this was what we presented last time. And you can go to the next one. That is what we presented last time. I'm going to show you some changes that we've worked with. Okay, so Adam had talked about possibly adding larger windows. We didn't like this look. Now listen, I'm working with a gentleman out of the Republic of Georgia. And so I am sending ideas and he's doing everything and then sending them back. We didn't really like this look very much. If you can go to the next one. He did take off the balusters at the top. He did take off the corner coins. Now, in our perspective, it looks like two separate buildings. Now, this one, yeah, this is again without the coins, without the balusters at the top. You can go to the next one. And now this one is all brick. Now, what Anton did not understand is that I wanted to keep the brick, there's a brick ledge on the original that I wanted to go all the way around that building. In addition to that, when you looked at the original pictures that I brought, here is they've got these rectangular decorative pieces that he also did not put on this, which I think that it would be okay if there was a ledge and some of the decorative elements that's on the original building. You can go to the next one, please. Okay, now this one was based on several of the libraries that have the block at the bottom and the brick at the top. Unfortunately, Anton did not. He was on vacation the entire week last week, which was difficult for us, but he did not have time to show me what it would look like to have it all brick with a brick ledge around it. We can go to the next. Sweet picture. Okay, next. Mhm. This does showcase the new door that we wanted. So this is a wrought iron door with glass. But it does not have the Cohens. It does have the dental work, and it does have the balusters and beautiful new staircase. This is the new design. I found these particular windows in Traverse City over the weekend. If you can go to the next one, you'll see, look at those. Now, I don't know that 6 windows is what we want to do, but maybe 3. How do you feel about those windows? Those are very Carnegie-ish. And then I did also ask him to give us, that's it. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I think that's it. I also have a different door at the bottom. I think those doors don't really match. That was from Scotland. We brought that idea from Scotland. So we would have to put in a new door here that I think would look a little bit more like the Carnegie windows. So that is, these are the renderings that I was able to get with only a few hours today. And we do strongly feel that we need something in the front that would help blend the back. And that's the end of the presentation. So we, yeah, I think it just is a copy or something.
We ask for you to consider allowing us to change the original building. We just don't feel that we can bring the 2 buildings together and make them look like something that belongs together without some unifying elements. And whether that is one of the architectural elements that Julie has chosen, it doesn't matter. We're definitely not interested in taking out the brick and putting block at the bottom of the original. I think that's just an artistic, something that was a mistake, actually. But we do believe that the points really, really help. And I know it's not the craftsman style, but we don't have a craftsman project. We had no idea when we entered into this that we'd be running into all this. As a matter of fact, until the day before the meeting, day of the meeting, we thought we were all good. So this is all new to us. We hope that you allow us to continue, but we strongly believe that we must hold firm in some of the things that we want to see. We're mortgaging the rest of our lives on this building. And it's really important to us that we are doing something we like. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I would open up to the commission. Any questions, thoughts for the petitioners at this time?
So are there plans to, are you looking for us to provide direction as to what you've shown us this evening, or is there still plans to come forward with basically a finished, this is what we would like to present? Because I've seen a few things on here that some are finished, some aren't, some, I understand the fellow didn't exactly get everything you wanted, but what's the ask here this evening?
First, Indiana landmarks, we don't feel that Indiana landmarks really should have a say in what we do with this building. We are not asking for any government money, no tax credits, no grants, no funding, nothing. We bought the building to create a project, and we're asking for permission to be able to change some elements about the front, and also possibly to, for maybe you like some certain things on here that we can, are absolutes. We don't really know what you're wanting. We know what we want, but that didn't get us very far last time. So I have brought to you some,
I'm sorry.
lots of ideas.
Can you scroll back to the back, the rear view of that exterior of the building? That one right there. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We've just brought back the some ideas that we would like some. Is there anything here that anyone likes preferable to what it was the last time?
So I think that we all could probably agree on, we like the idea of trying to ease that transition to make it look like one building. Now, understandably, it's not going to say, oh, I mean, you're going to be able to tell, but how can you, how can you make that as seamless as possible? And I hear a willingness on your part to do that. The reason why I liked this view here, I understand what you're saying about the keystones not going down and you don't want the block. I understand that. And you want the brick ledge to go all the way around. I'm picturing all that. The thing here I like was these windows. That to me is one tying element. Those look like the windows on the front of the building. As opposed, now the windows from one of the other views that you had that were the arched on top, nice windows, but I think that's one of the things that makes it look different than the rest of the building and doesn't tie together.
Okay.
That's just me, my opinion. Like these windows here that you have look like the rest of the building. I like the idea of the ledge. I like what you had originally with the stone on the bottom to tie it all in. I mean, obviously, everyone else will have their thoughts as well. But to hearing you talk about trying to make a seamless transition, with the dental work and I think we're close. But I just wanted to know what your expectation was of this meeting. Were you looking forward? Were you looking for a final approval, or were you going to plan to come back in 2 weeks with okay, here it is. We'll try to hammer out what we're looking for this evening and then come back in 2 weeks with here's a final product. Do you like this that we can move forward?
What we would like to get from you is whether you're willing to let us make the alterations that we want. If you say absolutely not, it's gonna be a problem. If you're willing to work with us, we would love to work with you and make this happen.
Right. And I think that from the last meeting, there was a willingness on everybody's part, was my understanding, from your perspective and ours.
Yes.
And I'm seeing on these slides several different ideas. And
One of the
so-
biggest, excuse me.
Mhm. Go ahead.
One of the biggest issues we have is the bricks are dissimilar. And we've tried very hard to match, and we're still working on that. But there's no match. Therefore, we have to have something that separates visually the old building from the new. And if you stick that building right next to the new brick, everybody's going to say, oh, there's a two-tone building.
Right. I understand that as well. And I feel like this is going to go back a little ways. The schools, Mount Vernon schools had the same issue when they added on to several of their schools. And those folks that were around here when the high school added on, the folks thought that, how are you going to match that brick? School said, we can't match the brick. So they had to do something different. Right. And I think that you got something here. You said you found something that's close. The shade's going to be a little different, but your intentions are good. I think we're going to be able to do something. I mean, I just didn't even say I think. I know we're going to be able to do something. We just we're kind of starting to zero in on, particulars, like what do you want those windows to look like? What do you, I feel like we're all pretty good. You talked about the parapet on top. I like the change in the front doors, for instance. I think that we're probably there on the front staircase, but I can't speak for everybody, obviously.
So is the question tonight, the modifications to the original building itself, not because there's still clearly some give on the new building, right? It's will we be able to modify? Is that the question?
Yes. We need to hire an architect, do additional.
Mhm.
And until we have firm direction from you, what it is that you'll accept, we're throwing money away.
Sure.
We have a huge investment already. So what we want, the reason we're here tonight is we want to hear from you what is acceptable. What can we incorporate into our plans? And then we can actually start building and not worry about you coming back later and says, we're not okay with that. You have to stop.
So I guess for the Plan Commission and Joe online, concerns with modifications to the existing Carnegie Library building itself. Do we have, because there was a lot of conversation last time about specific elements. So I would say if there are things that, we need to discuss tonight, that's probably the focus of where we're at here. I would think.
Are we just talking exterior? So I just want to add in the interior. I thought you shared was beautiful.
Yeah.
We're looking for something that matches that interior.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah. So I guess I'm struggling a little bit, Adam, on a direction from, can we approve without a final set of, unless we go through and tail specific requirements? I mean, it feels like we either need to approve. I don't know what the motion would be tonight to
I think
approve,
I
right?
think we're too soon for a
Yeah, I thought
motion.
tonight was just,
This is a consultation.
just discussion.
This is a discussion consultation.
Yeah,
Got
I
it.
took it
Okay.
as.
Do
So-
we need to break it down as simple as some of the elements that you've shared, like they changed the front door, for instance. What do you think?
Are there concerns? Are there concerns with the building itself? That's where I think we would go, and then they need to know what is a non-starter versus what do we think we like. I think, right?
Yeah.
So things that would be troublesome or impactful to their decision-making and their design.
So let me ask you something. Is a lot of this, what we're talking about is cosmetic, correct?
Yes.
What's stopping them from, there's a lot of work that's gotta be done before they get to the cosmetic part. You know, can we let them continue with construction and?
So I think we did that last time.
Okay.
They can do the building,
Mhm.
but I think the concern is they don't want to go too far and then we shut the project down and, down the line. So
They're
I
also gonna need to
completely,
know- They're gonna need to know window location.
Yeah,
Sizes.
sure.
We just want to make sure that whatever we choose for the exterior is acceptable to both you and us.
And
Leaving the building exactly as is a non-starter.
so what I would ask the commission, I've been chewing on this a little bit, but it feels like personal preference should not weigh in a ton. We should be thinking about, are there things that are negatively impactful to the town? If we don't think so, if the aesthetic is a preference, I would not weigh that strongly as the commission. I think our role here is to make sure that what goes in is positive, has positive impact on the town, but whether I like a specific style or not, I don't think has a whole lot of weight in this decision, because we all are going to have a little bit different preference, and this is a private development. So I think that piece, so we need to think about, okay, what is the impact of the Carnegie Library, the history of the building? Are they going to represent it well? And are there things that we think would be negatively impactful to the history and legacy of the building, that kind of thing? Otherwise, it feels like a lot of these decisions should be left to the design of the, to you all. I'm apology.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I only focused in on some of those key elements, since those are the ones that were been focused on in the presentations that we've been seeing so far, and seem to be some of the direction they're needing and seeking. And so while I agree with what you're saying, that's why I was trying to zero, if you just broke it apart piece by piece, that's going to give them the direction they need as far as to move forward. And so.
Which windows do you like? Do you like the block, the stone, or the brick? And what can we, and the coins and so those are the questions that we have to have answered.
Right.
And
Julie's asking, like she said, block, all brick at the bottom, block or stone,
Sure.
or the stone. So, I mean, those are things I think that, as Chris said, are open for discussion. I mean, it's just kind of an open discussion, and that gives them the guidance they're seeking.
Yep. So any concerns, thoughts?
So a couple of things. As you know, I put room additions on for a living. I know it's very, very challenging to tie in old and new. I'm all for the coins, I think, on this particular project, just to help that transition and kind of camouflage that difference a little bit. I do like the larger windows. I don't know if that was Adam's recommendation or Mr. Adams. Yeah, the architect. Regardless of which plan up here you guys pursue, it's all going to be a big improvement over what it is now and what we've looked at, for however many years. I do like all brick because the original is all brick. And I guess my one big recommendation or suggestion would be just to use, and I think we covered this the first meeting a couple of weeks ago, but use real brick, real roof materials.
Yeah.
I'd prefer it, and I think the town would prefer it not to look like a pole barn. metal roof, metal siding. I think we can all agree on that.
And I think we
Yeah, and
discussed that.
he provided his guarantee that that was going to be real brick, real stone, shingle roof. That's so.
Right.
Mhm.
And the stone really looks great, but
The stone helped, in my opinion, combine the old brick with the new brick.
but
But I could also just do small pieces of it, not the whole bottom.
And for anybody online or in the audience, does everybody know what coins are that you're referring to?
it's the two black structure.
Mhm.
Uh, That is a very common Ghana architectural element, because it's limestone and it's locally sourced.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
And
you.
so many Carnegie libraries have them.
Mhm.
But we were more interested in putting them in the corner, inverted corner, as well as the external corner.
This is the most important corner right here.
Yep.
And honestly, if you do this and that, you have to do this as well. It just will look better.
I agree.
I don't think there's any opposition to that I'm hearing.
No, and I think, you know, the consistency in windows, I know this is a good example right here where you have the old wood windows and then more of a storefront glass on the new edition, it looks like. You know, some consistency in the styles and the material colors might help mesh the two.
All right, that's what I was
Which
saying.
that goes
earlier.
back to your previous comments on the smaller windows that would match.
So do you like the original building, the original windows?
What helps you on the inside for natural light? Is there one
We don't
bigger?
want too much natural light.
Okay, so you'd
It's gonna be
rather the
dark.
smaller windows.
So maybe the smaller windows is better.
Whatever.
Sure.
If you continue to go down just a little bit, I'm gonna try the
Some of those
the
renderings.
original picture that
I found it. I'll pull it up here.
okay, sorry.
Your original proposal was really close to those original windows, wasn't it?
Our dream, if you approve that,
The
You-
original-
the original proposal.
Oh,
The
Well,
one
while-
with the small,
For that,
Yeah.
the one that was presented.
Last time,
Yes.
with the small windows on the side.
yeah, which would match what they're looking for.
It would be, yeah, it would be
They're
seamless.
looking for lesser light in the.
Yeah.
So
We
that,
can refine the light, that's no problem.
right.
If it looks better architecturally, we're okay with it.
One of the things I think that they're still looking for, so we've kind of talked about the coins. We're kind of talking about the windows at this point. We haven't really still settled for their direction on the bottom skirting as far as stone brick. And that might be where
Yeah.
we're not going.
PowerPoint, then I can look
I
at
think-
the.
Chris indicated all brick,
All
right?
brick.
I like the brick and I like the continuation of that
The-
detail.
The
Yeah,
ledge, yeah.
The ledge all the way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
that would help tie it together.
Yeah, that actually makes it easier because we have a brick ledge, the foundation, go all the way up with it.
Right.
Otherwise, the stone actually complicates matters.
You like the stone.
That's something that we're totally negotiable on. But I do believe some of the things that tie the two buildings together are essential, otherwise it will look really bad.
And your thoughts on the all brick for the addition?
Fine. Yeah, we'll just have to get something a little closer and we would absolutely have to have the corner coins.
Right.
Probably save you money too. Versus the stone.
It's about the same.
And there's a real good view of the ledge right there that you're
Mhm.
talking about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, the ledge goes to the foundation
Mhm.
and comes up
And
as
then,
concrete, and then you start to, Chris knows all about it.
okay, so we've heard all brick, coins, the ledge all the way around. Did we find the windows that you're talking about?
Oh, no, if we can go back to the,
It was your original proposal, right?
yeah, I had it in there.
The front
Maybe
door.
if you could look at the original proposal and tell us what you don't like.
Well, we have it on the slideshow.
The front door, it seems like there's consensus everybody was fine with.
I think the new front door, the newly proposed front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
So is someone jotting these things down?
Yep.
And
I think the only other thing that I'm having a hard time getting behind is the arch door on the side. So
Yes.
I think it looks misplaced.
you said you were going to change that, yeah.
Just there, but this is the new door. that- So instead of an arch door,
Kind of mimic the front door.
it does, it has the wrought iron and glass, but it is rectangular versus round, but that round one was what I.
Yeah.
And so, and the original windows on the side, right? The original smaller, that kind of matches the wood side windows. Right there.
Mhm.
That flows nicer.
Mhm.
How small windows match the side, smaller windows on the side.
We'll have to take the arch off. We agree that that was a liberty taken by the person who did it.
That configuration of windows, brick all the way down, and then the rectangular door on that view there has the coins. And I think that we've already discussed at the last meeting, shingled roof to match
Got that here.
the front.
Other possibilities, we're not crazy about the single roof. We might try to do something that's a little bit more classy, like the new stuff that's looks like
Clay tile.
clay tile.
So just non-metal roof.
Yeah.
Upgraded
it will not
roof.
be bare metal.
And then I think the last piece, if I recall, is Julie really liked the
dental.
well, the dental work, I
And
think
the
was,
plastic.
we're all,
Oh.
yeah, I think the dental work, we're all in favor of that, just
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah, the parapet across the top. What's everybody's thought?
Where's your air handler gonna be?
They're
You
gonna be
know.
on the side towards the neighbors.
On the
And we are
south
still-
side.
Outside of the
South
building.
side, yes, south side. We have plenty of room there. We could put it there, but we have to reinforce the roof structure. I know.
That's where
I hadn't thought of that.
I was thinking you could hide it.
That would be a great place to hide it, but
I like the parapet on this view more so than the original proposal.
Yeah, and my goal with that was to hide that gable. With this one, it actually makes this part of the building looking higher,
Mhm.
taller, so that the two buildings don't look quite so different in size.
Does that go around the side or is it
Yeah.
just, yeah?
Mhm.
I
Yeah, so
figured.
it wraps
goes
to,
all the way around.
ties to the new building.
And then the roof would get flattened.
No,
It's just gonna look that
no,
way.
we're not gonna, you're not gonna be able to see it though. We'll create some sort of visual screen.
Yeah.
Not sure what. But from the front, that really ties the two buildings together because it raises the existing building.
And I see the dental work peeking out from
Mhm.
at the.
So that's
apex of
another
the-
common element. We're gonna go all the way around with that.
I mean, in the addition, I can see it up there in the peak of the
Oh.
addition.
So that ties in just right there.
Mhm, mhm. What are you thinking, Chris?
No, I think we're moving in the right direction.
Mhm. Nathan's got the list going here. Was there something that we've left out? These are the things you've notated as,
We just ask permission to use those architectural elements in our final plans so we can submit it.
staircase. What about, we mentioned.
Yeah.
the Staircase was an important aspect.
I'm not a huge history buff. Are those like Spanish balusters?
These were actually considered Scottish balusters. And of course, I'm bringing Scotland to Fort Bell, so I thought I should bring Scottish balusters.
This is a common element in neoclassical buildings. And neoclassical buildings are a blend of classic elements and more time period correct elements. So you'll see those balusters all over the world in buildings that are neoclassical.
This seems to be one of your guys' really proud elements that you're proud of. And to me, I think it's back to something I think we've all said, it looks a whole lot better than what's there.
It's just inviting, it just
Agreed.
invites you in.
From a curb appeal perspective.
So it was discussion last time about how much bigger the back looked. And since we can't change the back, I thought if we could maybe make the front look a little bit taller, a little classier. That might be what it needed aesthetically to look like a building, these two buildings belong together.
Concerns on the parapet on top? I like what I see
I think
there.
it flows well here. Entrance looks good. Any concerns with, I mean, the new doors, entrance, curb appeal looks fantastic in my opinion.
Other than stone or the block at the bottom.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes,
And there's coins.
correct. Yep. Any other thoughts, concerns?
Are you guys
So-
able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm on board with all of these changes, and I do like the grandeur of the front. I know it may not be the craftsman style, but in keeping with neoclassical and all of that, like I think it does bring a lot to the front. And to that point of we were concerned about the size of the addition on the back. I do think that that then kind of eliminates some of that concern when you look at the front and you're like, okay, this is a grand entrance. You kind of don't see that back, at least from these renderings. So I do think these are good. And then just kind of to wrap up my thoughts on that, just I do think we need to give some clear direction. I think we have some good bullet points, but I do have concerns about giving too many variable windows for them to work in. I think we're kind of holding them a little bit to the fire on we want X, Y, and Z, but with the ability to change A, B, and C. So I do want to hopefully get some really good marked results that we want so that they can go and get those without having to keep coming back. Because again, I know we've talked about this, but it's a private building, private lot. They can do kind of what they want. They're being more than gracious with us on trying to make what we want out of this as the town of Fortville. But also, I don't want the goalposts to keep changing on them. So I just want us to kind of keep that in mind that we want a good result, but also we don't want to change the goalpost every time they come back. I know we give them 2 weeks to come back with these renderings. So just want to, hopefully we can all come to an understanding that we have some good marks to come to, but they need to be measurable. They need to be specific. They need to be actionable, so that we can keep everybody on the same page without always moving the goalpost on them.
No, good comments there, Zach. Really appreciate it. Sounds like you were saying a SMART goal.
Yes, I was. I left out the T timely just so I wasn't just using the same one. But yeah, you're right.
No, it's good. It's point well taken. So we've listed these things out. I think if we just kind of walk through them, it sounds like we're all on the same page. Sounds like the changes you want to see are there. So what we've talked about is corner coins all the way around on new building and old. Bricks around with ledge, new building and old. New wrought iron and glass main door and a side door that'll be square, which I think looks gorgeous. Upgraded roof. Original windows to match. So those side windows on the new building be smaller, less light. Sounds like that's the original desire anyway. So I think we're all good there. Dental work to be included, parapet, on the front, the new build, or on the old building. And the dental work is on the new and the old. And then the entrance as presented, I think we're all in agreement on.
Was there anything else that you were really looking for you were holding?
We are grateful for your flexibility. Thank you. The only question I have, it's actually an Adam question, is our contractors are getting a little fidgety. We have applied for the permit. When can we expect to have it, at least to start the original work? Because the weather is being great right now.
Sure.
Well, we have, as you know, we've turned the permit over to the other agencies and departments as we would do with any commercial building permit. I know Joe Renner had provided you with some comments that would have to be integrated into the plans. I don't think I heard anything from the fire department yet. The building inspector, when he reviews the plans, I don't recall him giving me any comments one way or the other, though his reviews are usually pretty straightforward, so I wouldn't anticipate anything there. And then lastly would be the county surveyor in terms of drainage. Now, I think because of the size of the addition, it's small in comparison with when the county surveyor typically requires on-site detention and things like that. So I'm fairly confident that they wouldn't require that. But we do want them to just take a look at it, make sure that the drainage is not going to have a negative impact on anybody there. So as soon as we get the green light from those other departments, we should be able to issue a permit of some sort, either foundation plus structure. And if the exterior cladding, if you're going back to your architect and he's basically going to update a few of those sheets to reflect this, then if we can do it all at one time, one permit, that's great. But if we need to separate it out into different elements, we can do that to keep things moving.
Well, being the optimistic people we are, we had scheduled work to start in about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. And we're going to have to call all of them off. And of course, then weather will hit. So I guess my question is, are we okay to start and pending the final plans, or?
Well, let me give you a good example. The problem is some of the comments that came in from Joe on behalf of the utilities department had to do with the exact placement of the building in relation to the right-of-way. So we obviously can't issue, I don't want to issue a permit saying that you can get started when we don't know exactly where it's going to sit. So I guess the question would be, how quickly can you address those comments that Joe mentioned?
Is it okay to ask Joe?
Yeah, I mean.
You had recommended that we just move a tiny bit over to the south.
Yeah, move that portion of the building. When you look at the lot, it looks like it wasn't centered on the existing building, but shoved right up against the property line, right on the sidewalk.
Mm.
So if the room to move, and if I could, can I just kind of go through some of my comments?
Yeah, please do.
Sure, come on up.
Joe Renner, town manager. I don't have the comments in front of me, so I don't remember what they all were, but some of my comments that I put down and I sent an email and they agreed to address those and, look at them. But Adam, could you go to, say, the Church Street side renderings? That's the alley. Go one more. That's not a good one. Keep going. Keep going. There was another one that, there you go, stop right there. Part of my concern is it being right on the sidewalk. Those doors open out, so they open out over the walk.
Yeah.
We've got an issue right now going on with a building on Main Street where somebody stepped out of the building, tripped out on the sidewalk. So we're still fighting with the insurance company and all that on liability issues. So having those doors come right out on the sidewalk, I'm a little concerned. If it was set back a little bit, once they step out of the building, the door didn't swing over the sidewalk, that would be a little bit better, I believe. That way, once they get out of the building, then they step onto our walk rather than falling out of the building onto our walk. The sidewalk depth that's up there now, I believe, is only 3 inches roughly. If you'll notice here, there's 3 downspouts that come down. My recommendation would be to raise that walk, put the downspouts under the walk where it kicks out onto the street. That way the water actually, the road runs to Main Street, and I think it'll take the water with no problem. But part of the issue that I see there, that's the north side. It doesn't get any sun. We've got the exact same problem down, say exactly a block south, down at Sorrell's building and sidewalk there. The heat of the building, snow will melt on top and it'll run down the downspouts, hits that concrete and freezes. So we always got a sheet of ice. So hard to get that ice off of there. So if we get those downspouts where they're not dumping directly on the walk, I think that's a big win. The other thing I'm thinking of is with that sidewalk there and being as narrow as it is, this block right here that you're looking at is the only block between Memorial Park and Landmark Park that allows parking on the south side of the road. They park on both sides. So I think the town needs to restrict parking on that side, and that sidewalk needs to be widened to match, similar to what there is on Stat Street along the buildings. There's not any parking here, so we're going to have a lot of pedestrian traffic back and forth, and it'd be good to have room for them to, people walking and pass by and that kind of thing. The other issues that I had as far as the utilities, I think you said you can address those. The water meter needs to be onto the property, out of the right of way, and the sewer clean out, same thing. If that's the case, that there is room up in the grass toward the old part of the building, so those could be located to that area. And it sounds like you're going to need a sprinkler system. You're planning on sprinkler, and that would have to come off of Church Street as well. And unfortunately, fortunately, I guess either way, these renderings look amazing, but it doesn't show the ugly power poles and wires and all that other stuff that's going to be kind of in the way and take away from the aesthetics, unfortunately. But yeah, that's really the only concern I've got. Opening doors up into the right of way, tripping points. If the walk's going to be raised, does the floor of that building need to be adjusted to where it's going to walk out? Because this is going to be your ADA access, I assume. So you won't be able to do that from the front. So those are some of my comments that I feel like need to be, because if the building does need to get shoved to the south a little bit, we need to make sure that we show that. Well, if those doors swing open, if they're 36-inch doors. Oh, you could either recess the doors in, so when the doors open, they don't go over the wall, or push the building to the south a little bit. Okay, well, that's going to change some of your aesthetics. So everybody's good with that. That's just my only concern. Somebody's a kid that's not supposed to be on a scooter, come tooling down there, somebody open the door, bam, that's.
Whose responsibility would the ice snow removal be on those walks? Would that be the town or would that be the owner?
Well, that's a great question. We actually have an ordinance in place that it is the property owner's responsibility to keep the sidewalks clean.
So then any downspout issue would kind of fall on them to maintain?
And to see in that drawing, you can't see it as well, but there's the door in the back too. I didn't know if you were going to recess that or pull it around to this side.
And then I know we had a concern about like the power poles, et cetera, but is that something that they could change? Like, would we allow them to go underground? I know that's a big cost, but again,
We would prefer them to go underground, but if we can talk them into going underground, the only way they do that is if we pay for it.
right. So it seems like that seems like a moot point if we don't, to bring that up at the behest of them, if we're not willing to foot the bill, kind of.
Oh, I'm not.
on them.
I'm just saying that unfortunately it's going to be an ugly.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully it's
I mean,
not
it would be
from.
great. Do we want to? I mean, I think everyone would love that to be underground. Do we want to foot the bill for that?
If you do it here, you have to do it the next block
Everywhere.
and do the
Yeah.
next part. Where do you stop?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
Okay.
Part of the reason that shifting the building is not very practical is because the building is asymmetrical. The roof is not, you know, the leg that goes towards Church Street is shorter than the other.
Okay,
And so we centered the building on the old building, but we left the cemetery in the name.
you centered the peak.
Instead of the peak.
I get
So
you.
when you walk in, you're gonna see the peak of,
Okay. That makes sense. No, those are my only concerns, so. Do you have any questions?
No, the door makes sense. ADA accessibility, getting in and out, making sure we're not blocking the walk. So if you're going to recess the door to address that, that makes sense.
Where floors, look at say the sidewalk needs to be raised a couple inches, to make 6 inches in that wall. Sidewalk can go under it, then it would have to be low.
That's, yeah, that comment.
So a question would be then, the time it's going to take to pull together these various permits, does the commission need to see kind of a final rendering, kind of a good faith rendering? Or are we good with what Nathan's taken down here?
If we list this stuff and then Adam's going to get a final review, if it's a substantial change from this, then it would come back, right? But you would have a final review to say,
Right. I'm confident that I can follow.
yeah.
Your
No,
lead
we
is on
have
it.
every confidence in
As
you.
long as it's clear.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make
And-
sure that
So we could list this in a motion for this case, and we can close the case potentially.
Is there-
Approve the case from what's listed here, correct. So we list those things out and then you guys have the ability to.
anything else on your guys' list that you needed direction on this evening? I want to make sure we're hitting on all of those.
And then lastly, what we can do then to expedite this is, I can ask the other departments if they're okay with us issuing a permit for foundation and structural work. And so hopefully they'll be okay with that, and we'll know that within a couple days. So then, once they say, yeah, we have no objections to that, then you would be able to start that work with that portion of the permit. And then, then after that's done, you can obviously get started on that part of the work. And then you can go back to your architect or any architect, whoever you need to, and obviously update those plans based on these concept designs that they approved. Does that make sense? Yeah, because if we wait for your architect to do all that's going to take a lot of time, and at the end of the day, it's still just a cladding issue.
Yeah.
It was the same issue that we came here with, but it sounds like the cladding issue is on its way to being solved. So that's the direction that I'd be taking unless
Okay.
otherwise.
So with that, since this still is a public meeting, I don't know if we have anybody from the public online, but I do want to provide time in the agenda, since this is a public hearing and we are potentially making a motion for the public to speak on behalf of the case. Adam, do we have anybody online or anybody in here that would like to note it? If so, feel free to unmute yourself if we've allowed that. Sometimes I say that and looks like we just have Zach online. Maybe there's another individual, but anybody who would like to speak may unmute themselves at this time. Okay. Hearing nothing. We also have time in our agenda for government officials to speak. We've already had Town Manager, Mr. Renner up. Anybody else? Yeah. All right, we got it. We got an ecstatic comment from Davis. All right. Any other comments, questions, concerns at this point? If not, I would look for a motion to approve with the concept. What do we call them? What did you call them, Adam? I really like that term.
Concept renderings.
Concept renderings and details mentioned this evening. Yeah. So we've got corner coins all around. We've got bricks around with ledge on both buildings, new wrought iron and glass main door and side door, shingled roof or upgraded roof, not necessarily shingled. They're going to investigate options there. The original windows that were in the original renderings, which matches all the way around, dental work, parapet, and entrance as presented.
I second the motion.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Architecture 01-2025 is approved. Thank you very much. We appreciate your patience with us and willingness to work. All right, and then Adam is going to move forward with discussing with the rest of the departments on a structural permit, and then we'll work to finish out
Finalize.
the architectural and cladding permit piece. All right. With that, the public hearing is closed. We'll move on to board comments. I just want to say thank you to everybody. This was good meeting, good discussion. Appreciate everybody's thoughts, flexibility. I think we really good discussion and ultimately landed at a place that allows these folks to continue and bring something really neat to the town. So really do appreciate it. Moving on, staff comments. Adam, anything?
No, nothing for me unless you have any questions on anything.
As always, appreciate it. Thank you, Andy, Adam, Alex, Joe, Tanya, everybody. Appreciate your willingness to work with us here. With that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn at 7:40.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.